Well, we have less than 2 weeks to make a very important decision. Who will you choose to be president of the United States? One of the biggest issues we face here in Florida and Tampa Bay, of course, is the struggling housing market. Both candidates have a plan to get things back on track, and we're joined now by Peter Murphy, CEO of Home Encounter. And thank you, Peter, for joining us again this week.
My pleasure.
Well, both President Obama and Mitt Romney have specific outlines for how to help the housing market rebound. Some ways they're similar, some ways they're different. Let's get right to the plans.
Yeah, sure thing. You know, it's amazing how different they are in some ways. They really do share, I think, each of the candidates' worldviews and political views. Obama comes right out of the gate and really wants to encourage people to, lenders really, to refinance the people who who are underwater on their mortgages. Allow people to refinance, says the Obama campaign, and will fundamentally fix the housing market. On the other hand, we have Romney and his campaign. They say that by reforming Freddie and Fannie, these GSAs, these government banks, will do one of the best things we can do for the market by adding security and confidence to the housing market again, which will incentivize lenders to want to refinance on their own. So that's a big difference right out of the gate in the differences in the two housing plans.
Well, the next part of the president's plan focuses on a homeowner's Bill of Rights, and while Romney wants to get the credit flowing again, isn't that correct?
Well, that's exactly right, and both of them do, really. I mean, but what the Obama campaign is looking at this and saying, we need protections for homeowners so that they don't get themselves in the mess that they got themselves in 5 years ago, which caused this housing collapse. Romney, on the other hand, says, okay, we do need that, but we also need some liberation, really, from all the onerous requirements that have been placed upon lenders since the collapse, which has tightened credit and made it so hard for people to get loans. He says if we remove that, people will borrow more, and it's, again, a big difference between the two candidates.
Certainly is right there. Okay, obviously both of them want to deal with all these foreclosed properties, but they have two ideas of how to go about that. There are so many out there.
Yeah, there's a ton out there, millions really, and a lot of them are owned by Fannie and Freddie. And so here's what the Obama campaign says. They say, let's turn all of those homes into rentals, and if we can keep them owned by the government and turn them into rentals, we'll create revenue for the government, and at the same time we'll stabilize the housing market. The Romney camp, on the other hand, says, let's just sell them. The government shouldn't be in the home ownership business to begin with, and if we sell them, we can put money into the government coffers and stabilize the housing market. Again, a fundamental difference in worldviews between these two gentlemen.
We want to go through all of this. The next part of the president's plan, give the unemployed a big break. But Romney wants to use a different tactic to help those same people avoid foreclosure. Explain that one.
Yeah, Romney is looking at them and they're saying, just if people are stuck in a house that they can't afford, just help them get out of that house. Don't necessarily give them a break in their mortgage payments. Let them go into a deed in lieu of foreclosure or a short sale. That'll get them out of a house they can't afford.
Well, the next point, both their plans seem to highlight the fundamental difference in how they're going to lead the country. Regulation versus free market. Very clear.
Yeah, that's right. The Obama campaign says people made some big mistakes. They need to be held accountable for those mistakes, and we need to investigate and figure out the source of them. Romney says, okay, they made some mistakes, but now let's not punish them more than we should. Let's loosen the financial regulations that have mounted up around mortgages, get rid of this Dodd-Frank bill, which is 9,000 pages of law, and let's let the markets flow freely again.
And both of them agree, obviously, housing market, we have to get it back on track. We have to get people back to work so the housing market will work out. And I think that's really the bottom line in all the economy, isn't it, Peter?
It sure is. I mean, the housing market represents 30% of our GDP here in the United States, so it's got to be working in order for the economy to be working. And what Obama proposes is, let's get people back to work by taking all those government-owned homes and putting people back to work, fixing them up and improving them. Whereas, on the other hand, Romney just says, let's get people back to work, period. If they're working, they can afford homes and the housing market can recover. So again, big differences in how they approach these two extremes on the housing market.
Well, it seems like it comes down to the fact that to the extent of the government's role should be in fixing the economic situation. Less government, more government, bottom line.
I think so. And depending on where you fall on those two issues is which plan I think you're going to agree with ultimately.
All right. Thank you so much, Peter, for being with us again tonight. We'll see you next week.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, 12 days to make your mind up there. Thank you, Kelly. A World War II veteran from Hawaii wanted to cast his vote one last time before he died, but now that vote may not even count. In his final days, it was difficult for this 93-year-old man, Frank Tanabe, to even open his eyes, but he was determined to exercise his right to vote. He filled out his absentee ballot with the help of his daughter, and days later he lost his battle with liver cancer. According to Hawaiian state law, if a person votes by mail and dies before the polls close, the vote won't count.
even though the law says it shouldn't count. In this particular case, I think, it should count.
Yeah, the law applies to everybody, even those deployed in the military. Executing the law might be tough, though. The city clerk needs to get a notification of death and then find that ballot and then pull it. It's kind of like a needle in a haystack. It may count after all.
Well, Governor Rick Scott has unveiled his new education plan. He says it pays more respect to teachers and gives parents more options and better prepares students for the future. The governor says he developed this plan based on what he heard last month when he traveled around the state. And Governor Scott says teachers need more opportunities for professional development, and the state should come up with a special supply fund for teachers who in many cases have to spend their own money to buy some of the things they really need. The governor also wants to expand charter schools, which raises the issue of doing more for regular public schools.
It's not an issue of choosing charter schools or over traditional